give you a kiss first like I usually do. That's okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Family Standards Podcast. My name is James or Wendy.
And I'm Amanda or Mandy Cat.
We just had dinner at my mom's house.
So good.
It was really good. If you didn't know, it's called bun sao, which is Vietnamese pancakes.
They're really not pancakes, though. I mean, they're in the shape of a pancake.
But then when you, technically though, because it's dough, like the yellow thing, like she pours in like a pancake. But Amanda was just saying she thinks it's her favorite meal out of all the meals. But
it's so hard to pick a favorite, but it's top for sure. It's in the top.
Yeah, so we just ate. We fed the cats too, so they're not going to be crazy this entire episode.
We don't know for sure, but
even though lots of you guys did enjoy that last episode, which was pretty funny. It was funny editing it back. There was every time something would happen with the cats, we just clip it and bring it to the back for bloopers. But
we left some of it in, like the good stuff we left in, like the good silly shit. But yeah, they were being brats. And then just now we were about to start, and Hoodie took a fat shit and stunk us out, and we had to deal with that before we could even start. So the perks of being owners to 4 cats.
Yeah, and we set a bit of a trap on the coffee table if you're watching on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
We have a little cat bed on our coffee table because that's Hoodie's favorite bed. Sandals used to sleep on it a little bit, but ever since we got Hoodie looves that one. So it's right in the front and the center of the frame.
Yeah.
Hoping she comes and sleeps in there and maybe get some nice cat action going on. Sandals is coming up right now.
Sandals is coming up. Shorts is in, but she's out of frame.
Yeah, but they're not really getting along right now. Sandals wants to come up to me, but Shorts is too close, I think.
I don't know. Shorts has been cunty. So Hoodie got spayed, like literally a week ago. Exactly a week ago today. And since Hoodie came back from the vet, Shorts has been like top cunt, more cunt than usual. I wish you could see how her face is right now.
Oh my gosh.
Like, what?
It's terrible.
And we don't know if it's because of how Hoodie smelled, because like Shorts did go and have to get like 8 teeth removed this year. And so Hoodie was on like medication and stuff, and we had to medicate Shorts for a long time after, and that was torture. So I'm assuming it has something to do with how she was smelling, but she just hasn't quite decuntified since.
Oh my God. Look at her right
I wish
now.
we could
It's
show her
insane.
face.
Her ears are tucked back so hard. Tail is flickering like crazy, just
and she's
staring
growling.
Sandals down. Oh my gosh. Guys, stop.
She's gonna whack you, baby. Jeez. All right, anyway, aside from that, I also just got tattooed yesterday for 12 hours. So if you see me sitting weird today, it's because I'm uncomfortable. Actually, at Mom's house for dinner, as we're getting to leave, I'm like, what the fuck? I like, look down my pants. Sure as shit, there's like the bloody pussy stuff like dripping down my leg from my tattoo. It's wrapped in second skin, so I was really surprised, but yeah, that was messy. So yay for that.
Yeah, that's such a long session. It's crazy.
We did 3 full day sessions. I think the first one we did like 9 hours, and then the second day we did 2 back-to-back days. First day was like 9 hours or maybe 10, and then the second day we did like 6 or 7. It was less that day, and then we waited 2 weeks to heal, and then I just went back and did like a full 12-hour day, and it is done. It's finally done. But oh my goodness.
Yeah, 12 hours is a long time.
Goodness.
And you're saying he doesn't even like take breaks other than like smoking. He didn't even eat or anything.
No, he doesn't take like lunch breaks. So the last time, I always pack food, but the first 2 times I didn't pack enough food for how long I was going to be there for. So this last time I packed, I mean, you helped me pack it, but I packed like a giant fucking lunch bag with like 2 sandwiches and so many snacks and fruit, and I was very prepared.
Oh,
it was great.
I forgot. What? We have drinks here. You want to crack it?
Oh.
I was going to do it right at the intro, but then I just got so into it, I forgot about it already.
We never film at night, and so it always seems silly to crack a drink, but here we are.
But also, it's not even like that late. It's coming to 8 p.m. right now.
But it's fucking dark out.
Yeah, which is funny because we obviously like the set better at night, because then you can actually see the family standard sign. Yeah. And then our studio lights are just, the main source of lights, not the sun freaking going across the sky. With the days getting shorter, nighttime is coming quicker, and which is good for the podcast. But I was literally just thinking about this today. It's kind of weird though, because all the time in our city, when wintertime comes around, fall comes around, the days just start feeling really shorter really quickly, and then you get a little bit depressed. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're like, the days are running out so much quicker. You're waking up and it's dark, and it's just getting.
We just got Hoodie in the trap.
That's the real reason why I put her bed on there, so that you guys can start watching on YouTube. Aww.
She fell for the trap, you guys. Good job, Dad.
That's so cute.
Oh, until she bathes herself. If she fucking starts bathing herself the whole time, I might die.
I'll go back to what I said, but you bought like a cone and a suit for her to wear because she for 14 days straight she's actually not supposed to be like licking the wound or anything like that for bacterial infections or even just ripping it open. But it's been pretty brutal. She's so afraid of the cone every time you put it on her. So yeah, we're just keeping an eye on her when she's giving herself a bath. My
ongoing joke is that she has 57 baths a day. So unnecessary.
And it doesn't help when you put a cone on her or you put clothes on her, because as soon as you take it off, she feels even more of the urge to clean herself. I want to have a bath.
So she's going to sit here and lick herself, but she doesn't seem to be licking her wound at all.
Yeah, honestly, we were both saying that it didn't even feel like she had surgery.
No, she didn't show any pain, no nothing.
Yeah, like the vets made it seem like you have to be really on it and make sure she doesn't do this. For 3 days straight, we give her pain meds or anti-inflammatory, kind of both. But she did not seem like she was hurt at all.
No.
She was right back into playing like crazy.
Side note, we locked her. We have a spare room with the bunk beds. We like took everything out of the room. So we thought, and like locked her in there with her bed and like water and stuff like that, so that she was away from the other cats for the first few days if we left the house. And we like have cameras in our house, and so I took one of the living room cameras out and I put it in that room so I could keep an eye on her. Couldn't find her, couldn't see her anywhere on the cameras. We're like, where the fuck is Hoodie? As soon as we get home, we look in the room. Well, of course she's at the door, like she heard our car. So I went back and like watched the video footage. This fucking brat got up on the top bunk bed, and then when she heard us come home, she like sent it. She had a cone on her head at that point too.
Yeah.
Launched herself off the top bunk onto like the mat. We had a mattress on the floor because I was sleeping with her in there. Like off the top bunk onto the mattress on the floor. I've never seen her do a bigger jump.
I'm laughing in my head because I literally envision it like, you know, Mario Kart when you're driving and riding and then you hit those speed boosts on the ground. Literally, like right before a jump or whatever. The way she jumped, her arms were flailing like I've never seen her do before.
And we're like, dude, that was like this first or second day after her spay. Like, as the vets are like, oh, try not to let her be too rambunctious. Okay. Don't even know how she got on the top bunk.
Yeah.
Like from the window ledge. Must have jumped into the window ledge and on top of the bunk. Anyway, whatever. Doesn't matter. But that's what our lives have been.
Yeah, I don't know if her kitten energy just like trumps any sorts of pain or feelings in her heart, because she just like didn't even skip a beat.
No.
Like crazy.
No, not at all.
Anyways, so the days are getting darker. And it's just, feels kind of like, it just happens every year. But I swear the older we get, the harder it hits, you know? I don't know why. But even like, the days are feeling shorter. But at least the podcast is looking nice. Oh, that's what I was going to say. But like last year when we were doing this, maybe it was because we just started the podcast. But like we purposely wanted to do it later and later because of how nice it looked at night.
Right.
But like now when I'm sitting on it, I'm just like, I don't want to do it later anymore. Like it already feels late to be doing the podcast right now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But maybe last year we were really excited and that didn't matter, you know?
I think that's going to change because like I know personally, I work more in the winter. I prefer it.
Yeah.
And like I just feel like we're going to get into that routine again too. Like we're going to enjoy doing the podcast in the evenings.
Yeah, I think that's a big factor on it as well. Even I'm still getting a little bit of anxiety of doing the podcast, to be honest.
Yeah.
Ever since the last one. I know that will go away as soon as we get back into it. And I think a big thing with this is just, I think we just put too much pressure on ourselves.
Yeah, we do.
Like, because we really do take pride of everything we do and we love what we do. And it was really nice because in the last episode, we started off by, you know, basically asking for forgiveness. That's what you guys said in the comments. But so many guys commented, lots of you guys commented, especially on YouTube, being like, hey, like, thanks for apologizing, but you really have no reason to apologize. We're just happy that you even do this and let us listen. So, but for us, like, we just can't, like, we treat it like a business so much. We're like, oh my God, it's 2 weeks. We have to get it out next Wednesday. Like, we have to do this. But I feel like both you and I have been putting a little bit less pressure on that now.
Yeah, well, again, we're both kind of like, oh, Wednesday or Thursday.
Wednesday or Thursday.
Whatever. Yeah. It's not that big of a deal. And also, like, I was trying so hard this past week to choose what day to film this on. But, like, it's so hard to do that in advance. It's not like we can just sit here and be like, yeah, every Monday we're going to film. No, because like it depends on how we're feeling and the things that have happened. And we usually try to wait till after the second weekend. So there's at least 2 weeks worth of like life things that have happened, because you never fucking know. It's day by day for us for sure. So
yeah, and I think the big one is really how we're feeling. Yeah. You know, I think we're both feeling a little bit better, but it's still hard to just fucking set it all up and do it again. It does feel like a big task, you know, the podcast. But I'm getting back into it, and we're doing it right now, obviously, and just like I said last time, as soon as I'm doing it, I'm like, oh, this is not that bad. And
then by the time we're done, we're very happy.
I know that we did it. I'm like, oh. And then, another 2 weeks is good. Okay, we're good for 2 weeks. And then it comes back around, you're like, oh shit.
You're making it sound like you really dread this. That sucks.
I mean, just for the past few times, it's just been mentally draining. But I think lots of that had to do with where my mental space was, but also where we were at. I feel like we're doing a lot better together now. So I just feel like this can come off a lot smoother and more cohesive. So.
That's good. Do you want to talk about how you've been doing?
Yeah. I really appreciate you guys. We posted the clip on the last episode of me talking about my depression, and it was really cool to see comments. I don't think I've experienced this before, where I've talked lots about my mental health online and having it being, you know, discussed or thought about. But lots of the people in the comments said stuff like, man, like you really spoke to me. That's exactly how I felt forever. And I've had a hard time putting it into words. And I had this conversation with my friend. I'm like, it's really interesting to me because like, I feel like I'm really good with my words. And I feel like that will never be me being like, man, I just can't get my words out. I can't get my thoughts out through words. And so it's weird that people struggle with that. But it was really nice to be able to be, you know, the voice, if you will, for those people that can't. And so many people were commenting like that. And I mean, it did feel really nice. It feels like we're all kind of in this together.
Totally.
And I really did feel the support. So yeah, I had my first therapy session maybe a week ago.
It was the very end of September.
Yeah.
So,
a week ago. And I think it went well. We've had therapy sessions together before, 2 therapy sessions together. Then I sat in with her for her first solo therapy session for like the first half hour. And then this is my official first therapy session. Solo. And I didn't really go in with any expectations. All I can say is like by the end of when I left the session, I could say that there was just a feeling of happiness. Like I just felt lighter and I felt good. Not that we even like accomplished anything, right? I think every first session is just about building rapport, explaining your situation, getting to know each other, right? So I didn't have any expectations, but where my therapy was where my old workplace used to be. So I stopped by and wanted to visit some old colleagues of mine, but I had so many random interactions with people, like trying to get through the door and opening for them. And I opened there. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Oh, no problem. And like, just felt really good. It just felt like I was out of my own headspace and I was able to just be present with anyone, whoever was around me. And it just felt really happy. And the only other thing I can really say about the therapy session was, yes, like I know the science is there of like just talking out loud can really help your mental thoughts or your emotions. When you're thinking about things constantly, I just think it can be very overwhelming. And when you're able to say it out loud, maybe slower than how you think, it really starts making you think about things a little differently, even the same things that you thought about before. So I said after the therapy session, I definitely like thought about lots of things that I don't think I would have gotten to if I wasn't able to just sit down and just speak to someone about it. So that was really cool. And then, the only other thing she said was like, well, how was your first therapy session? Like, this is your first one. And I was like, you know what? It's kind of weird because like, I really do enjoy conversing with people. It's really weird for this to be so one-sided. I even said like, I feel like I should be asking you questions now. And then, she said something really good. She's like, you'll get really used to hearing your own voice. And I was not used to like hearing myself talk for that long. The only reminiscent thing is this podcast.
Right.
But, this is different, right? This is very different. So that was super bizarre for me because usually in a social setting, if it's a busy like crowd, I'm usually more quiet. I don't feel the need to be in the center of attention or just constantly be talking. I like just like, watching and listening. So that was really weird just to talk so much it almost felt bad that I was talking so much.
Right.
But in the end, it felt really good. So yeah, I'm going to see her monthly. She thinks that monthly will be good. And I'm looking forward to the next one. So
yeah, that's good. I know you instantly, like when you came home, when you left that morning,
I was not in a good,
you weren't in a good headspace.
We weren't even that great that morning either.
And then when you got back, it was very, very apparent that you just felt and seemed lighter.
Yeah.
So that's good. It's good that you you said you don't really understand what people mean by like not getting along with your therapist, but I mean, there are a lot of people that say that they don't, connect with their therapist the first time they meet them. So
yeah,
I'm glad that you enjoyed her.
Yeah, I think again, I was only looking through online. I got 6 or 7 or 8 recommendations from our couples therapist. I just was looking at everyone's website, and I like to think I have a good radar intuition, but I just based my decision on how their website was structured and their photo. Her website was really clean, simple, elegant, like how I'd like to set up a website. Right. And then her photo's very professional, like super nice. And I can sense her energy through her photo. So
it's good.
Yeah, I think it's the only way we can really do it. Otherwise, you're shopping around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even me, like I would like to still be in therapy. Unfortunately, my therapist does not live in my city. I didn't even know that. She travels usually about an hour and a half to work, but there's been some shit going on that's blocking the only highways to and from. So she's actually not coming to town anymore until hopefully maybe December. But
yeah,
I don't know. She keeps trying to push me to do online, but I literally I can't do Zoom.
Yeah, it's different, I guess, right?
I did it before with that one therapist that I had, and I don't like it.
I think it helps not being in your house too.
Yeah,
I think being in another space, scenery, really helps you get your mind kind of out of the gutter. Maybe. It was also funny because I was in the same room as your therapist was, and I don't know if that's because your therapist isn't in, so she's taking over my therapist is taking over her room, or if it's a shared room. But I'm like,
I think it's a shared room.
Like, hey, this room looks familiar. She's like, oh yeah, this is the same room. I'm like, yeah. So it's weird to think that you sat exactly where I sat,
right,
talking to your therapist, while I sat talking to mine.
So funny.
In the same room.
Yeah. It's like the buildings that they're in are just because they work for themselves. They're not part of a company, and so I think they're just renting these rooms. Yeah. So, but yeah, anyway, I was looking at getting another therapist for the time being, but there's like a 3-month wait list for most of the therapists that I've been referred to. So I'm just going to try to stick it out to December. Obviously, I would like to be working on things, but at the same time, I'm like not near in as bad a state as I used to be.
Yeah, I personally think you're working on things really well.
Yeah, well, helps that I finally got the right help. Which I don't even think I've told everybody this. I've obviously mentioned it on my socials before, but basically I ended up finally, my doctor's great. I love our doctor. She helps us with everything to do with sex work and all of our testing, and she's so awesome. But at the same time, I just also have so many other things going on. So I feel like I talk to my doctor a lot. Let's just put it that way. And so I've been trying to discuss my mental health with her and with the therapist and all these people. And this whole time, I've just been, was it last year I started taking anxiety medication? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Not even, it hasn't been that long?
It must have been beginning of this year.
Okay. So I was diagnosed with anxiety. So I had started taking anxiety medication, and I think I kind of noticed a difference for the first week. And then after that, I didn't really notice it that much. Maybe a little bit. I stopped having panic attacks in the grocery store, but I also learned to just wear my headphones in the grocery store. There was so many different factors. I couldn't really tell if it was helping me that much. But anyway, and then I, got depressed, which is a whole nother situation. But this whole time I've been pretty convinced that it's adult ADHD. And, James and I have both kind of watched videos and done research, and the statistics for women in their mid 20s through 30s having been misdiagnosed with anxiety and depression, but really it was ADHD. But it's because women don't really show boys do. Boys are usually diagnosed from like 7 to 12. And that's kind of what they expect. Like doctors don't really even think about ADHD being a thing to diagnose an adult with, because they think it should have been diagnosed as a kid. Anyway, I was pretty convinced that was what was going on with me, and I had to fight pretty hard, actually, a lot harder than I would have liked to have. And it took me being in like a really bad headspace in order for people to start taking me seriously. But long story short, I ended up doing a bunch of like the self-evaluation forms for basically a bunch of different things: ADHD, depression, anxiety. And although I did score some points on each form, the one that was extremely high and very obvious was ADHD. And so my doctor and I ended up talking about that quite a bit, and she she basically just ended up apologizing to me and saying, like, I think I misdiagnosed you, kind of thing, or like that we didn't catch this soon enough, and I'm really sorry, because that probably had a big impact on how bad your mental health got. And long story short, here we are. I'm on ADHD medication, and it's been wonderful.
At least she took accountability for it.
Yeah, she did.
But here's the thing, and I understand probably why, is that I think especially people in our age range, there's a huge flood of being diagnosed ADHD now, right? Yeah. A huge flood of it. And I think doctors can be skeptical at times, because if you misdiagnose at all, or you believe into it too hard, like, well, then you're just giving people meth, right? Like you're giving people like a drug, right? It's not just like something small, right? So if someone wanted to really cheat the system and like claim they have difficulties, I feel like that they could be tricked sometimes. Or if they really want that drug, like, you know, like Adderall, for example, people want Adderall like crazy when they're in college and university to study like crazy. So I can see the doctor's apprehension just in general as a whole. But then it was nice that she said, like, if you don't have it and you take it, well, you really know, like, you'll really know if it shouldn't be for you. But I think you've been doing so much better since being on it. Mm-hmm. And it just makes sense. Yeah. I wanted to just add to that, like, although I know what you're saying, it's also like super expensive. So, you know, like, I don't know why somebody would want to have this be like an ongoing thing that they pay for when you could just do actual drugs. You know what I mean? But I see what you're saying. It's very expensive though, monthly, without insurance. But yeah, I think I've been a lot better. And I didn't really know for sure, because James and I weren't also like really in the work hustle, because I don't really present that much, except for when I'm around people that I'm comfortable with. Then you'll start to see it, because I just am weird and I say things out loud, and I have weird quirks, which, whatever, that's not the problem. I'd be totally cool with having those. It's not like I need to not be quirky. It's the fact that I like would sit down to do work, and then like 7 different things would happen in my brain, and I'd have to get up and do 1, and then I'd forget that I had to do 3, and then I'd get up and do 8, but then I skipped 4, and like so many stupid things, and I'd get myself so worked up, and then I get so frustrated, and then I go take a nap and get nothing done, and then try again tomorrow, and then cry. And it was just so bad. It just got so out of hand for me. And so yeah, James and I weren't having like really solid work days, but then I did notice on the one work day that we did right off the bat, like, man, I tunnel visioned and I got everything done. Like, I just sat there and I did it. But there's also that day that you forgot to take it too.
Oh yeah, but this day was beforehand.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, our crazy work day.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
The day that you tried to ask me if I wanted food, and I was so hyper focused I was like, don't talk to me.
Oh, I thought that was after. It was close. That was close though, right?
Maybe it was after.
Who knows?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I'm telling this story. I'll talk about the gym in a minute. But yeah, that day I was like, I finished everything that I had to do, and it was like crazy stuff too, like dealing with my accountant, dealing with taxes, dealing with the CRA, like shit that would normally make me fucking burst out into tears. I just got through it, and then I was like, oh, that was amazing. Yay. And then, yeah, there was one day that I forgot to take my meds. Went to the gym. I was fine at first. I did like my 2 heavy lifts, and then I just like what I just said about work. I did the stupid shit. I like got up to go pee and like brought my water bottle because I was going to fill it up again, left my water bottle in the change room, came back. Then somebody was using the piece of equipment I wanted to use next. And so I literally sat there in like a kerfuffle for far too long, because I couldn't figure out what to do next, because the one machine I wanted was taken. And like I was about to cry because of this machine, and I sat there in like paralysis, couldn't continue my workout because I didn't know what to do next. And then tried to figure out what to do next and was getting overwhelmed, and then realized I forgot my water bottle, and it was just like, it just all hit me at once. Oh, and then I like got so tired and like my energy just tanked, and then I was like, what is going on? Why is my brain like this? And I was like, oh, I don't think I took my meds. And that was the case.
And that was the first time you really felt what it was feeling like without the medication. That was the first time.
Yeah, because it's so hard to know if it's working, because it's not like I feel high from it. I just feel normal and I can do things normally. But then obviously the one day that I forgot it, it was like, holy fuck. Here's my brain this is why I constantly just call myself stupid or dumb. It's because of moments like that.
Yeah, but it's not because you're actually stupid or dumb.
Well, but it makes me feel stupid and dumb. And so lately I feel less stupid and dumb because I'm actually functioning properly. So here we are.
My friend made a point because she's on ADHD medication as well. And he's like, does she ever like cycle, like when she goes on and off of it? Like on the weekends I don't take it, and then on the weekdays when I take it again, I'm like, wow, this feels really good. But then I told him, like, you know what the issue is for us is like there really aren't any weekends. You know, in reality, like we're kind of working all day, not all day. We're kind of working every day, but in varying amounts. We never really take full days off or whatever. So I'm like, you probably need to take it constantly.
Well, so I didn't tell you this, but and it's gonna. I'm still figuring out my correct dosage, which I'm talking to my doctor again tomorrow to like figure that out. But right now I have 2 different doses because we were messing around with how much we wanted to take. But on the weekends, I actually was taking less.
Oh, okay. Just the regular dose?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's going to be like something I could talk to her in the future and like maybe just do, you know, the small amount on the weekends and then go for my normal amount on weekdays.
I think that all depends on how you feel, to be honest.
Yeah.
If you feel like you can function off of that, then that's perfectly. It's basically just saving you a little bit more money.
Yeah.
When you don't need that much brain power on the days that we're not working as hard.
And it's not like I would go into like a withdrawal or anything like that for taking a couple of days off. But,
no, definitely not.
Yeah. So, and if we were like going for snowboarding and like not working that day,
yeah,
I probably just wouldn't take it. It's just when I need my brain to work.
But I would try it. Maybe try it just because you've never been snowboarding with it before ever, right? What if all of a sudden you get fucking crazy tunnel vision in the trees and you're bipping, you know, who knows?
Maybe.
You might end up riding even better.
That is my favorite part of the trees is like picking my path and like figuring, like witnessing how quickly I can make my brain work to pick a path through the trees and not crash. So maybe I could go faster. I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know. Anyway, not trying to promote these things, but just wanting to be open and honest about the
only thing we're promoting is to get properly diagnosed if you think something is going on with you. Yeah. Which isn't a bad thing.
It's not that easy. Also, just saying, you know, I really had to fight for myself a lot harder than I honestly think I should have.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you know, it is what it is. Here we are. You know?
I want to add this point, and I'm going to try to make it as brief as I can because I've kind of discussed it to you before. Did you have something to say?
No.
Is like, you know, I have lots of friends that take ADHD medication, and I have lots of friends that potentially have ADHD and they're not taking a medication. Like they tried taking the medication and they've stopped. Yeah. And their mentality is like I don't need pharmaceutical drugs. I don't need to take something to make me feel better. I should be able to feel better all on my own. And like, I get people like that, strong-willed people. Okay. I feel like, you know, we understand what that's kind of like. Yeah. And I want to say like, I maybe am one of the lucky ones and have more of a relatively normal functioning brain, where I feel quite normal. Like I don't really need anything. Especially now that I'm living with you for so long and having so many friends that have ADHD. I'm like, oh, wow. I'm very different.
I'm pretty functional.
Yeah. You guys are like the normal ones now. I'm the weird one. You know what I mean? It's becoming that way. But what I want to say is that to a degree, I understand, like being like, you know, I can, if I can meditate on this, I'll do better. I don't need medication. But I just think, unfortunately, we're all born in a society now in this generation that's pretty fucked up. Yeah. Everything has fucked our brain chemistry up. Society as a whole, living in this culture, especially North America, I think it's really is what's causing people to have anxiety and depression. We're being born into it. And I think it is totally fine to take something to make you feel better, especially if we're being born in a country that is causing you all these things. Mm-hmm. People are naturally born this way. Like, you know, like they said for you, you don't just become and have ADHD. Like you've had it at a very young age. And then they even asked you, like, do you remember anything back in the day? Do you really know? Like, how the fuck were you supposed to remember? You couldn't remember anything.
I just don't have a memory. So, like, not a fair question.
Exactly.
To ask me. But yeah.
But yeah, people are born with these things. And I think it sucks because then in a way it's like, oh, well, so you still have to cater to pharmaceuticals. But if it can make you function, feel better, and be happier. Yeah. Like, isn't that more important? I guess the only thing is cost. That's like the only thing really.
Yeah. But like for me, I'm just like, take my money.
If it's helping you, right?
Well, and it's helping me be more productive, which is helping me earn more money. Like, it's so far been great for me.
It's been really good.
I don't want to like talk too much about ADHD in women and all the things because that's not what this is about. But it wasn't Dr. Andrew Huberman. Whose podcast was that I listened to?
But the thing is, I'm not sure if he's a real doctor or not. I sent that to one of my psych friends and she's like, actually, she doesn't have much credentials. I don't know what her credentials are, but if you search ADHD in women on YouTube,
there's a lot.
Pop it up.
There's a lot.
But yeah, I've noticed that you've been doing a lot better, and maybe it's because of the medication or that we're both doing better. But for a while there, it still felt like we were just kind of like butting heads, even on the silly things. But I'm really starting to feel your love again, and it's been really helping me take me out of my dark place as well. And that's been really nice.
Yeah, I agree. We've been doing better. And it's funny because, honestly, there's always a stress about what we're going to do next with work. And we haven't been doing collabs. I don't know if you guys have noticed that or not. Probably. We haven't been doing any collabs. And that's just because we haven't felt ready. We haven't felt that our relationship's been ready. And it's been a little bit stressful thinking about it. Thinking that no matter what, we're probably going to have to. And we're just going to have to like take it step by step.
We couldn't even like go through our work alone. Like it was hard for us to work. There's no way we're going to be able to include people.
We're having sex for work. Yeah, it's hard. We went through like a month of not even filming together. Thankfully we had stuff banked. And so, can we continue to do our jobs without other people? Absolutely. Is it as exciting for our subscribers? No. And does it benefit us to work with other people? Yes, it does. And so, baby steps, we were kind of starting to talk about like, okay, I think we're finally at a good space together to start talking about working with other people. How is that going to look? Who's it going to be? What are our boundaries? We thought we had everything communicated properly, but now we kind of start over, recommunicate, refigure out the boundaries. And so as we've been like kind of pitter pattering with the concept of getting back into things, everything just kind of like served us on a silver platter, which is kind of crazy.
It is crazy, especially for a while there. It felt like it was not.
It felt like
it felt like what's a good, you say something.
I don't know. It felt like we were like struggling to stay afloat. Like,
yeah. Nothing was going our way. We were drowning. We were drowning for a while.
Yeah. Like everything was going wrong. And then just as soon as we finally said like, okay, we're ready. Let's start talking about this. Boom. And I'll tell you all the things. I'm not going to like super discuss everything because obviously
not in detail, but we've booked everything.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay.
We booked it.
Crazy. So basically, you guys already know, but we have, and this isn't part of collabs, but this is just exciting. We booked a trip to Mexico a year ago? No, not a year ago. Half a year ago. We booked it like a year in advance.
Sure.
So we've been excited about this trip for a long time. Oh.
Shorts is dreaming hard.
She's chasing bunnies.
Her mouth is moving too.
I can't see because your arm.
Oh. Anyways, let's leave her in her happy place. That's the only place where she's happy is when she's dreaming.
Look happy? She looks demonic.
Should I wake her up?
Maybe. Hey, babes. She's out. Oh my God. Do it again. Shorties. Oh, there she goes. Hi, baby. Oh my.
I was pushing on her head hard. I was like making her nod. Shorts. Oh.
What the fuck?
Right, you're in the wheel now.
She woke up scared.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Anyway, so I ended up figuring out, I've been checking flights to Mexico for like eternity and beyond.
You're like the flight master.
I literally am like every single day I'm like refresh. And I'm like tracking the cost and like, all the add-ons and the best times. I write them all down. I like put notifications on. I'm constantly doing the shit. And I basically Googled like, when is the best time to book flights before traveling? And so many different places say so many different things. But anyway, I decided when I saw it at its lowest, I was going to pull the plug. And so I did. I pulled the plug, and that was really exciting. I got us really good flights for quite a lot cheaper than we had even assumed it would be. Yeah. Which is really exciting. And then like 2 days later, we get messaged on Twitter from people that we've been wanting to work with for quite a while, people in the States, being like, hey, we're going to do this giant collab in Miami, massive mansion already booked and ready to go.
16 beds.
16 beds.
Tennis court, basketball court, probably a bowling alley. There's just like...
There's a pool, everything.
There's everything.
It's crazy. Like, this house is stunning. Do you guys want to come? We're like, what? They send us like the list of people that are interested or potentially going, and many of them are people that I've heard of or have wanted to work with, or, you know, just totally my vibe. And I'm like, yeah, we do. What the fuck? Never been to Miami. We've never been.
You replied and they're just like, holy crap, we weren't expecting a response back. We're so stoked that you guys are considering it.
Well, they've invited us to a few things, and we're always like, oh, that's really far for us. Like, we've never been to Eastern Canada or US at all.
Never been in the East Coast at all.
At all. And Miami is like the furthest fucking place from us. And so, yeah, I'm like, oh my God, okay, let's look into it. Boom, start looking into flights. And then, I don't know, within 24 hours, everything was booked and paid for.
Yeah, which is crazy.
So I got it all mapped out too. I'm like, oh, we're going to go a day early so that we can get tested in time, because we have to do testing in the States, which is fine. No big deal. And I already like figured out what hotel we're going to be staying at, and like where we're going to go get tested at, and then how far it is to go to the Airbnb that they booked. And like, it's all figured out. It's done just like that. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, I was, when it was first being discussed, I wasn't too sure about it just because of where we were at or where I am at. But again, we just talked about it, right?
Yeah.
We literally sat down and talked about it, and I thought about it in my head as well, but I also told you, I'm just like, man, I'm feeling a little bit hesitant right now. Aw, hoodie. I'm feeling a little bit hesitant right now just because, you know, first of all, I'm coming out of like a depression. We're coming out through a thing, you know, we're working things through. But if this was last year and we got offered this opportunity, just like we did at Trippy House, we would have not have said no.
Yeah.
We would have taken it in a heartbeat.
Totally.
So what's changed? Oh, our mental health a little bit, but also the thoughts of like, man, we've been doing this for almost a full year now, and we're doing decently good.
Yeah.
Feeling the need of, we don't really need to do this, do we? But like, no. Like, again, if this is last year, we would take it in a heartbeat. In my mind, I felt like with that mentality, it's a no-brainer, really. And then realistically, there shouldn't be lots of pressure either, because I mean, the only pressure there is us, you know, working with people for the first time again. But like you said, everything kind of just like fell into place in the most perfect, right way possible. I really see this as us using this as an opportunity to really push ourselves into the right step and learn and love and do it again. And also the way they're running it, they listed all the rules of what of their
so
expectations.
organized.
So organized. The big one was no one's forcing anyone to work with anyone if they don't want to, which is really great. If there's 14 people going to be there, we just hang out, get to know each other.
There's
hey,
going to
if
be
you
close
work,
to 30 people there.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yes, but like not feeling like you're obligated to work X amount of scenes just because there's thousands, 30 people there, you know? So in a way, it's actually like really, really low pressure. Other than the main couple, because we've been wanting to work with them for a while. For sure. I feel like that's the only one that I have written in our books, in my mind of who we're going to work with. But
I just want to see who we vibe with.
That's the most important thing. So
totally.
But yeah, this just feels like the perfect step, to be honest. So
yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's a really great opportunity, and people seem excited for us to be going too, which is also just awesome. You know, we're excited to be going, but then people are showing that they're excited for us to be going.
Yeah, I'm really excited that we actually have our name built a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe more people actually know of us this time, because when we went to Trippy House, family standards was barely a thing.
Yeah, you
like
had
we
not
released
even
one
really
episode,
come out
I think.
Yet.
Exactly.
Yeah,
come out
Come out as doing porn with me. Gosh, come out of the closet.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool that we have our name here now, and
yeah,
we have a decent following, and that might help us because maybe people actually, look at our stuff and like our stuff, and they have an earlier understanding of who we are as people, and maybe they'll be able to vibe with us easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. There's like a really good variety of people also. And so like I've been saying, a lot of people are asking us for specific things that I haven't been able to offer. Might be able to offer more things now that there's going to be so many awesome people of all different varieties,
Also, I think the biggest one, if everything like feels good and works good, we do struggle with like group play. Like we don't have any videos of multiple people. So if things feel really good, like because people, like you said, that one video that we have with the 5 of us all together,
those are the best.
It's the best selling one on our page, right? Like people love that stuff, and
there's a couple different couples too, which is nice,
Yep, for
people
sure.
might want to actually do like multi-couple swaps. That kind of stuff always does really well for us. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm obviously gonna bring my whole camera setup equipment.
Totally. I'm gonna have new phones, so I don't even have to worry about my cell phone with all my incriminating shit on it. Just kidding. I mean, I just mean my porn. I cannot I can't clean up my phone enough for it to be, if somebody were to look at it like at the airport or the border or whatever, there's no way I can make it look like I'm a normal person. Like my phone is just riddled with porn, my multiple phones. And so I'm getting new phones, and I'm only going to bring my business phone, and I'm going to make it clean. So.
And you might like hear that and be like, man, you guys are such worry words. But I mean, we have reason to be. We know lots of people that have been banned from airports or crossing the border even because the government realized that they do sex for work.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's fearful a little bit. But like we did it last year. We went to Vegas, right? So we'll just do it again. Yeah.
Vegas is one thing because it's a good excuse. Miami, I think
Miami's decent too. Everyone goes to Miami.
We already have our Airbnb booked. That's another thing. Like, everything's planned.
We have the details.
We have names of people that we're going to be with. It's LAX that I don't think I'll ever fly into because they're just strict as fuck. But
and again, another worry is because Amanda always gets flagged. Like she always gets
they've just fucking
triple exams, drug tested, explosive tests, all the stupid shit.
All the swabs, all the everything.
It just makes us worry just a little bit more. If they want to go deeper, it wouldn't be very hard. So.
Yeah. And I've had them take my phones and go through my phones prior to me doing porn. So,
Yeah. So wish us luck.
Yeah.
We might bring the podcast stuff. I don't know. We brought it to Vegas last year and we wanted to do an episode, but we never ended up doing it.
There wasn't a good space for it though.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a beautiful house, right? So
but a lot of people, I don't know.
Yeah, it would have to be quiet enough. And if time-wise, it would make sense. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool to do the podcast.
We might have some downtime.
Just because we're there for how long? Almost a week. 5 days?
I don't know. Yeah.
A decent amount of time though.
Yeah. I mean, we could maybe set it up and do like tiny clippets with people and then put that all together.
True.
If people have 10 minutes to spare and we want to just chit chat with somebody and then like put that all together as one episode of just us.
Yeah, that might be a little bit easier than
totally
taking someone's time for a whole hour and a half or whatever. So
just have it set up and like do increments of time with people when they have spare time.
Yeah, so we'll see. But that does require us to bring all the gear, which is just a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. No promises.
I'm going to have to pack the sign too.
Or we just
ship it there, hang it on the wall.
Or we just make the connections and then we convince them to come back to Canada with us.
And that's exactly it.
Yeah.
I mean, but it'd be nice to get a little something going on there too. I don't know. We'll see.
It's just the mics. I feel like we can't bring the stands. Like, I feel like I want to just have like handheld ones for when we travel.
You can hold these.
Well, then that's fine. I've seen, that's what, Bobby does. I know. They just hold them. I know it doesn't look as good.
Well, yeah.
But like bringing all these fucking stands, that's so much work.
I know.
And we don't need the headphones.
Yeah.
You bring yours anyways.
I need my headphones.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, immediately after that, guys, as I'm already living on a fucking high from being invited to this, I get invited to go to Toronto. Jessie Switch is so amazing. I love her. We talk all the frickin' time. And I was supposed to be going to her place in October for a collab. And things just didn't work out with everybody. And so that got canceled, which sucked. I was really looking forward to that. And then she was like, fuck it, bro. I'm going to go to Toronto. And there's a bunch of creators there. And I'm going to collab with them. You want to come with me? And I was like, ha ha ha. Yes, I do. Oh, my goodness. So that's extremely exciting. Super grateful for her.
So that one ended up working anyways because basically it was in the same time frame that you're supposed to go. So it was perfect. Which is when again? Like, isn't that like a couple weeks next week?
October, yeah. It's in less than 3 weeks.
Less than 3 weeks. Yeah.
So that's also super exciting. I literally just before we started this, like, paid for the flights. Jessie just sent me the Airbnb that she booked, and it's so beautiful. It has a hot tub right on beachfront property. Oh my God.
Nice. Wow.
I'm so excited. And yeah, I've been like chatting with some of the Toronto girls. I mean, we followed each other back and forth for a long time, but I've just never gotten the opportunity to meet them or to work with them. And so, yeah, I'm really excited. I think that this is just like all the things that we've kind of been wanting to happen are just like happening. And so, yeah.
Amanda's also going by herself for that one.
Oh, yes.
So that would be like, I guess technically not the first time we've been apart and you're working with someone else. But technically speaking, first big collab on your own.
Yeah. Well, and it's an all girls collab. So it would have been silly to pay for you to go and then to pay for cat sitters.
Yeah.
And then all the things. So just a girl trip, just a girl scene.
Plus, I mean, I prefer it anyways. I think you're gonna have a great time, and I think it'd be good for you. So
yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah.
And then Jessie also said that she has an event. I think we're landing on the Saturday. She said there's either a rave or a concert or something that night that she wants us to go to. So basically, we're going just to like party on the Saturday night together, and then work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So stoked. Never been to Toronto, so
neither have I.
Exciting.
Miami, Mexico.
Like literally, we have.
Do you want to say the one we forgot? You forgot about Mexico.
Oh, geez. Okay, but that's not confirmed for sure.
Okay, fine.
That one, anyway. I did get invited to a different collab, and it was supposed to be a giant all girls collab in Mexico. I haven't really gotten to talk to them in a long time. I did reach out the other day, but I didn't get a reply back yet. But anyway, I got invited to Mexico to go to this collab a while back, and I was like, oh, that's so funny. I'm actually gonna be in Mexico. That it was for those exact. I'm going to be in Mexico for those exact dates. Like, why don't I just like pop over?
Which is insane.
What are the odds? I don't know. And so, yeah, if that all works out, I might be also doing a collab while we're in Mexico.
Okay, so I just want to say, if all this really does go through,
yeah,
I think that will probably be the busiest timeline of work in
ever.
That short of a duration ever.
Yeah, I agree.
We are gonna have a lot of content.
Mm-hmm. And we've scheduled more stuff with Zoe. She's going to come back on the podcast, and we've got content scheduled together in December for sure. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
I'm ready.
Yeah, it's funny. I think I'm finally feeling like a switch internally of being excited to get back into the flow and the pace of our work.
Yeah.
Because for a while there, I was just lacking it. Whether it's motivation, whether it's a laziness, it could be laziness, but I also I just don't think intrinsically I'm motivating myself enough or have the want to do these things. So I've been slowly trying to get my way back in, but I think it's finally happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think also like our system is finally
getting better.
Yeah. You know, our workloads and like actually helping each other instead of like you doing podcast and me doing porn. We're kind of like both going back and forth now, which is nice.
Yeah, again, for me, I just really need to do, it helps seeing like a list of things to do and then getting used to doing it. Once I get in rhythm of it, it's pretty good. Like lately, I've just been making a lot of GIFs and then just pre-scheduling them. I pre-scheduled basically the most of November, December already. So almost at the end of the year, which is insanity. Mm-hmm. And it was fine. It felt good. So yeah, definitely helps that we're helping each other more.
Yeah.
I just can't believe that it's almost going to be a full year of this. It's insane.
Mm-hmm. Exciting shit, guys. What the fuck?
Yeah, we're going to have lots of stuff going on.
Lots of stories to tell. I love that part too, you know? All these things just means we're going to have so many juicy things to tell you.
Yeah, and I think that's I think you struggle with that more than I do.
Yeah.
But like...
With the podcast, you mean?
Yeah, with the podcast.
Yeah.
Feeling like we don't have anything to talk about, which I understand that, you know?
Yeah.
You said, I'm just tired of all these life updates. But in my opinion, especially the real fans out there, like the ones that messaged us good comments in the last episode,
right,
they don't care what we're talking about. They're just like us as people, and they're just happy that we're able to do this. So that helps with the low pressure thing. But goddamn, we're gonna have a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said earlier that we're gonna have Zoe back on the podcast.
Yeah.
Is that gonna be the next one? Aired and filmed? I can't.
I don't know.
Anyways, yeah, we're gonna have Zoe back on the podcast. I was talking to Amanda because we're in October. Depending on how we're feeling and energy level wise, but maybe we'll do a special Halloween episode.
I'm sure she would be down to dress up.
Yeah,
but like I don't know that it would be like a Halloween themed episode.
We'll be dressed up.
We'll be dressed up, and the lights will be cute. Maybe, yeah.
Maybe Halloween. Maybe we can like tell spooky stories or something. I kind of want to do like a Halloween special. You know?
Well, I don't know. Mr. never helps me plan the fucking podcast. As I'm trying to plan this with Zoe, you finally
I just had this thought though. I just had this thought today.
We'll see. I'm trying to figure something out that's like fun for us to do with her, because we've already obviously like told her story. You guys already know who she is. I just put like question boxes on all of our pages and Zoe's page to do like would you rather questions. Some of them are pretty funny. Mm-hmm. So I was gonna do that with her. And then, I mean, we've got a lot of things to talk about also. But
who knows what's going to be, but it's going to be a good episode either way.
Yeah.
I would you rather one would be fun, because when we did that episode, it was actually really fun too.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. If you guys have any ideas for like podcasty type games that we could play, we've asked that before and people have told us things, but like those are more YouTube games. Like it's not really a podcast game. You got to think about the fact that some people aren't actually watching, they're just listening. So if you have any like games or cute ideas that you'd like to see us do, let us know. But otherwise, I think that that's a good one to do. And then Zoe also has questions that she was going to ask us. Remember, she only asked us a couple last time, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. I think it'll be great. Mucho excited, because Zoe's a very good friend now. So yeah. Do we have anything else?
No, I think we just
oh, you're gonna read some of the nice comments we've been getting?
Yeah, I just want to read some of the nice comments we've been receiving, because you guys are just so nice to us and so friendly, and lots of the times Amanda doesn't get to see any of these. Yeah. So it'd be nice just to read it out loud and kind of like get her reaction to it as well.
And then after that, we asked you guys, we actually sent out our email and got you guys to email us questions or like your stories, and we're going to give advice. So if you want to know what the rest of the episode is going to be like, just so you know.
Ooh,
hi, Halloween cat.
Good stretch. Don't
bug your sister. No.
Go to your mom. Turn around.
Hoodie.
I haven't checked her DMs in a while, and they've been flooded again. Oh, geez, never mind. I didn't want to leave.
What, on Instagram?
Yeah. Okay, here's one. I wanted to say that I find you two incredibly beautiful together. Your openness, vulnerable side, and just all-around relationship is so beautiful. So much love to you both.
Thank you.
Oh my God, lots of people asking just for like questions.
Beautiful.
Should we do some questions too while we're here?
I mean, I guess if that's easier, sure.
Real question: where do you guys get your lingerie outfits and men's lingerie? We're from. VS is way too expensive right now, and I'm looking for affordable sets that we can get multiple, so we aren't repeating too much.
Okay, I get asked this question a lot, and I do answer it, but like I'm not proud to say it. I get all my stuff off Shein. Yeah. Shein's being canceled big time, and I totally understand why. It's not economically friendly. It's not friendly to their staff. I'm fully aware. But also,
it just is what it is, unfortunately.
It's just my job, you guys. I'm not going to pay that much for a lingerie set that I'm going to wear like once, twice, you know? So, yeah. I get all my stuff on Shein. Same with James. I've ordered you some fancy men's panties.
From there, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi there. I just want to hop on here and say how much I love the podcast and you guys. I finally caught up on all the episodes, and I just love how you guys keep it real and talk about anything and everything, even the tough stuff. The topics you guys have discussed have made me chat with my partner about some stuff, and it's really awesome. I feel like our communication is already getting better. Even the spicy stuff that you both talk about is so good. I love it. I'm so happy that I found you guys, and I honestly look forward to your episodes.
That's so nice.
And then they said, keeping freaking awesome, and I hope you both have a great day.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
I love that. See, as I'm like second guessing the things that we talk about.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Just to know that we're helping other people be able to talk to their partners like that.
Totally.
By just being us, representing us as a couple, not even like doing anything, trying to do that. It's pretty remarkable. Just to say, I love your new podcast episodes and the whole podcast in general because of how open you are with each other. I've been with my boyfriend for nearly 6 years, just like you guys, and you've raised so many interesting topics for us to discuss and connect over. But I've also been able to reconnect with myself and how I view sex and being able to relax fully. I recommended your podcast to a friend too who has had some sex issues within her relationship as well. Just want you guys to know that you're making a difference, and it's so refreshing and important to hear you talk about these things. Wishing you all the best. Keep up the good work.
Yay. I love that. Yeah. If we can help couples just like talk, that's man, good enough for me, man.
Huge.
I love that.
Okay, this is funny. She says, "Hola, hi. I have a question. Would you let your male partner have a threesome with a man who penetrates him?" So I read this and I thought this is really funny because she's asking you, right? Hi, I have a question. Would you let your male partner have a threesome with a man who penetrates him?
Okay. If that's what you wanted, fuck
like,
yeah.
Shouldn't you be asking me that? If I don't,
maybe she has a partner
who wants to do
that,
so
but she feels a type of way about it.
Yeah, that's the only way I can think about it. But like,
some women do feel a type of way about that, you know.
Like, but I think the first thing is like, well, I'm not gonna have someone penetrate me, but
yeah, because you don't want that.
Because I don't want that.
If James wanted that, I'd be like, yeah, that's cool. Can I watch? Can I be part of it?
There you go.
I love gay sex. Are you kidding? Gay porn's one of my favorite categories. Men and women.
Okay, I think that's most
57 baths a day.
Okay, I think those are all just like the nice comments that I can take briefly, really quick. Oh wait, this one more that I saw the other day. This is what I read to you before too, but I think it's just too good not to read again.
Okay.
Hey, so wanted to say, after listening to you both, finally me and my hubby have been able to talk openly about self-pleasure. He is 63. I am 48. I have cancer. After listening to you both, he finally opened up his mind. I was pleasuring myself. He took the blue pill and joined in the best sex ever. We've been married 20 years. Thank you. I have a brain tumor. Listening to your podcast opened our minds and helped us explore alternate options. Sorry if my words don't make sense. I hope they do.
Tells the story enough for me.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Amazing.
How crazy is that?
Wow. Took the blue pill
and after 20 years, like married of 20 years,
yeah.
I think she ended up messaging us on a different platform and like, continuing it, but being like, you know, he was really close-minded, and I'm sure lots of men in that generation are very close-minded.
Right.
But it goes to show you that you, with some compassion and learning, that you can teach an old dog new tricks. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
so amazing.
Get out of your booty hole. Sorry. No booty hole. No booty hole. I love you. I love you. Don't be mad at me.
Okay, so yeah, like Amanda said, we opened up our emails for advice, but we actually got a handful of them in. We're not going to do them all right now. I'm actually just going to go over some that we've gotten forever ago that we just haven't touched yet. I love this podcast as well as the dynamic. All right, we're family standards and sex happens here.
We're done.
I love this podcast and as well as the dynamic of your relationship. I would just never word a sentence that way, so it's just tricky in my head. Your relationship is amazing and is something I wish my husband and I could be on that level. Been married 10 years this September, and I guess we have hit a slump. Sex life non-existent. Any advice for both of us from both of your guys' perspectives?
Non-existent. Crazy. I mean, I got so many questions. Like, I wish they were sitting right here so I could just talk to them. But like, why is it non-existent? Is it because neither of you want to, or like, are neither of you horny ever, or are you mad at each other? Or are you just not in like making each other love each other? Like, what's
not talking?
What's
about
the cause? Yeah. Is no one initiating? Like, I have so many questions.
I mean, man, I just think if you feel this way, I think you should tell your partner this. You know, if you want to be having more sex, I would just sit down with your partner and have an open conversation of what it would be like to create more of that spark for each other.
Yeah. Like I've said previously, I think what I would suggest is for you to internalize what you want, what the ideal situation or ideal outcome would be for you. Like, what would you like your sex life to be? Think about that and have that in your head ready to go. Then approach your husband. Say, hey, honey, can we have a talk? If he's in a good headspace to do so, just say to him, can I ask you, what do you think about our sex life right now? How do you feel about our sex life right now? See what he has to say.
Yeah, what if he thinks it's fine?
Well, I highly doubt it, right?
I know,
if
right?
it's non-existent, I'm sure he's going to say, oh, well, it's not really, we're not doing it. He's going to say something, or he's going to deflect and go, well, I don't know. What do you think about it? And then there you go. Now you can say what you think about it and come right off the hop with solutions, or like what ideally you would like to see. Because it sucks if you just bring it up and then he goes, well, what do you want for me? And you don't have an answer. Like, that doesn't get you anywhere. So figure out what you like or what you think would work for you, and then try to bring it up that way.
Yeah, I just think having an open dialogue for everything is obviously important.
Yeah.
And if you guys can have that, you guys should be able to talk about things and get to a place where you guys both are enjoying each other more.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know anybody. I mean, there are people in the world, but I don't know that many people that are in a marriage and don't want to be having any sex, you know? I'm sure that both of you are feeling a type of way about it. So bring it up that way. Good luck.
Okay, I didn't want to share due to judgment, but my husband and I have been together 10 years. In those short years, we have dealt with family illness and our own kids and work, life, right? Well, 10 years later, we are together alone without responsibility. As a new, curious couple that follows the beauty of your relationship, how can we rekindle without responsibility? It's worded very interestingly.
I don't get it.
But if we're saying the same thing, I could think you could just say the same thing for the last couple to this one. But if you're talking about more of like experimenting with other people, if that's what you mean.
Can you read it again for me?
As a new curious couple that follows the beauty of your relationship, how can we rekindle without responsibility?
The beginning didn't make sense.
They just said they've been together for 10 years and they've had life happen to them where they can't focus on each other. Their kids have left the house now, right? And
so they had kids. Kids are out of the house.
Yes.
Okay.
They're together alone without responsibility.
How can they rekindle?
Mm-hmm.
And where are you getting being with other people out of that?
Well, it just says the beauty of our relationship. And I think our work and lifestyle kind of encompass that. If that's what they're asking as well. I don't know.
And that's not the vibe I got from that question at all.
That's what I'm saying. The same advice as the last couple can literally be said to this one, unless they are wanting to explore with other people. That's different. But yeah, man, if you have no kids, just get freaky, right? Just talk to each other, ask each other what you want. Man, there must be so much, like, I would know, I never probably won't know. Like, I don't know what, like, having kids for so long and catering for them, doing everything for them, and then with them finally leaving, you have an empty nest now. Man, I don't know. I'd want to do it everywhere in the house.
Right.
But
yeah. I mean, yes, but like depending on how long those kids have lived in the house for, like it can also just be quiet, like too quiet.
For sure.
You know, you had other people filling the space. And so like you lose the connection between you and your partner because there's just other things going around. And then as soon as the house is empty, now you're just alone with this partner that you're realizing you haven't actually like really been connecting with for the past few years because life has been happening, which is kind of what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
I highly suggest like booking a trip, and it doesn't have to be like a hella expensive trip. Go book a weekend away. Go to a hot springs, whatever. Go to anywhere for a weekend or longer would be great, but whatever you can afford to do. You don't have kids. I would hope you can afford to go, you know, just go have a weekend together somewhere.
Just start dating
out of your house. Yeah, go do something fun. Plan something. Do something that you wouldn't normally do and have fun together.
Yeah, it sounds like to me you guys are a bit maybe intimidated of what that could look like again, but I think you need to flip the mentality, being like, you obviously love each other. You've been together for a long time, married, you have kids, you always have, the love is obviously there. So instead of being intimidated or scared what this next step could be, just be like teenagers again, like go on the dates again and yeah, explore what each other's love is like again, because it's obviously been there. So don't be afraid.
And like what you said, recently we had a conversation just about chapters, talking about different chapters of life and how it can be sad to close one chapter, but so exciting to open another one. Look at this as like a whole new chapter. yeah, you closed the book on the last chapter and it was an amazing chapter. You're opening a whole new chapter now. Be excited about it. You know, like be intentional with it. Also, you guys have been together 10 years. You've both done significant changes as individuals. Relearn each other, you know, re-fall in love.
Yep.
So
it's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Good luck. Okay. This might be a harder one. I'm currently in a 6-year relationship. We have a very
6 year?
6 year. We have a very active sex life. In no way is it vanilla. We have sex at least twice a day and other fun things in between. He was the first person that made me feel comfortable enough to allow myself to completely open up and feel empowered in my sexuality. With that being said, I know self-pleasure is normal and I should be even more normal than talked about. But is it normal to have a partner that's very versatile, open to anything, and still have to buy content online or have secret accounts to look at that content? I know different is nice sometimes, but why can't we just experiment or browse together? I don't know, feeling really weird and insecure about the whole situation. Just thought to reach out. Respect the shit out of both of you guys.
Okay. Props to you guys. Twice a day? You've been together 6 years and you're having sex twice a day? Damn. That's a plausible. Plus other fun stuff, other freaky stuff in between. What the fuck? That's great. Happy for you. That is so not my sex drive. I applaud you very much. It sounds like this is a female that wrote this in about her male partner. Okay, so it just sounds like he, even though they're having all this, is still
consuming porn,
consuming secret
paying for
things.
Accounts.
Yeah, and she said secret.
I don't think they're secret because she knows about it, right? That's what she's saying. I think she just says, "Is it normal to have a partner that's very versatile, open to anything, and still has to buy content online or have secret accounts to look at content?" Okay, secret accounts. Yeah, but she's found them, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. That's a tough one. I know personally, if I were in your shoes, I would probably feel a type of way about that. I'm not going to lie. I don't think porn is a bad thing, but I think the way that it's brought up in a relationship definitely can be. If there's like secret stuff happening, or if he's like paying for things in secret and not talking to you, I don't like that personally. If you're not ashamed about what you're doing and if it's appropriate what you're doing, then why are we secret? Why are we being secretive about it?
The only thing that I could think about is because of just like how this generation just views porn. How porn in essence is a secret thing to do. So that's why they're probably stuck. That's why he's probably stuck there and doesn't feel fully comfortable just to talk to her about it. But I think if they bring up the conversation, it might go well. You guys seem to be really well.
Both seem to be on the same page.
With sexually, right?
Yeah, freaky deaky people together. Like, I don't know. What if you can enjoy that stuff together?
Exactly. Maybe that's what she said too, wasn't it? Or was it someone else?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I know it's different and nice sometimes. Why can't we just experiment or browse together? So I'm like...
So he just wants his alone time, I guess, which is fair.
Unless you haven't talked about it, but...
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like to me you guys talked about it yet. So...
That's a tricky one.
That is tricky.
I know that if I were in your shoes, I would definitely be feeling like a little bit like, well, what the fuck? Am I not doing enough for you? Like, why are we, you know? And obviously the masturbation is one thing. Like it's about solo pleasure. It's not supposed to be about the couple pleasure, but yeah, it's the secret accounts and paying for porn and stuff like that. That is definitely, it's questionable. It just needs to be talked about.
Yeah, I would just talk to him, and maybe you'd be surprised what his answer might be, or maybe you won't like his answer, but it's actually like okay answer. Obviously, you feel uncomfortable in general. Yeah. Like I've said on the podcast before, I think sex with a partner and self pleasure are completely different things, just different experiences altogether. I was literally just talking to my friend about it. He's like, man, I love self pleasure. Like I know how to do it right myself. Sometimes it feels even better than sex because you just know what to do, and I think it's just a whole different experience. And what if he's just feeling that? Maybe he needs that open dialogue with you and to make you feel less insecure about it. Because again, it sounds like your sex is amazing.
But why does he need to have like secret porn and stuff like that?
That's what I was saying before in the past, how, you know, like we're grown up in a generation where this is supposed to be done in secrecy. So I think it's just like been in our minds of, I have to hide this from everyone. I should feel ashamed for this. And you kind of know that feeling as well. I should feel ashamed for this. And if anyone finds out that I'm doing this, especially my partner, I'm going to be so shameful. But that's why I think having the open dialogue is important, because that's what creates the change, that mentality of being shamed for this. So I think you just have to talk to him. talk to him. You know, he might say, I just enjoy this on my own. He might say, I want to do this with you. He might say a little bit of both. I just think the dialogue has to be there.
Yeah. Also, that's a lot of sex in a day.
2 a day, stuff in between.
Plus solo stuff. Yeah. That's just a lot. I don't know. Personally, I find that to be a lot. Not that that's a bad thing, but yeah, I don't know.
Everyone's levels are different, right?
Yeah.
You guys are more closely matched, so that's kind of good. So yeah, hopefully you can talk to him. Best of luck. Okay, this might be a hard one. Hi, I'm wondering if you can recommend legit sex education classes. Clearly, we don't know each other, but I do follow you on Instagram, and I always get a very genuine and thoughtful vibe from the two of you. No one around me talks about all the factors surrounding sex the way you two do. It's kind of inspiring. My wife and I have worked so hard these last 4 years to communicate better with each other. The great news is we have excelled in every area. The disappointing part is that it has improved in the area of sex. I think she meant hasn't. Okay. Yeah. Somehow we are never on the same page. I fumble with openly stating I want sex. It's not romantic, it's not seductive, it's not passionate. And my wife is not nearly as interested in having sex as I am. So I'm sure you can imagine all the variations of arguments that we've endured. So if there's a class I can take to become more confident, or a real education program that teaches me ways to approach sex that meets both of our needs, I'd accept the resources from the two of you.
So I'm sorry to say I don't have any resources.
Yeah,
personally. I'm happy to share how I feel about your situation if you would like, because it sounds good, like you've been able to talk, open up the dialogue, but that it's not helping your actual sex. And from what I got from that, he's kind of taking credit here and saying
it's a she. They're both girls.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, I think they're both girls.
Oh, okay.
Her name is Elise. Well, I'm assuming it's her name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it sounds like this partner is taking credit for not coming about it
exactly
in the best ways.
You're like, kind of admitting it.
You're admitting that like you're just blurting out saying I want sex, and then it's not being romantic or reciprocated well.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you obviously really need to work on that. Personally, my biggest thing with sex is, if you just come up to me and say I want sex, it's probably almost always going to be a no. Because that's not sexy. B, you put in zero effort to show me that you wanted sex instead of just saying blatantly, I want sex. It kind of comes off as a demand, and I fucking hate demands. So I will do the polar opposite of the thing that you demand for me. And then also just like, come on, man. Like, why don't you try to seduce me a little? Why don't you try to turn me on a little? What happened to like touching each other and like, you know, kissing and heavy petting? Like, what happened to like booty smacks when you're washing the dishes and, you know, stuff like that? Like the cute, sexy things, the flirty things. Yeah, those are, you definitely just need to work on that big time. Because, yeah, I mean, I totally understand there's people in the world that if somebody walked up to them and said, I want sex, they'd turn around and do it. I'm just not one of them. Definitely not. And so clearly your partner isn't either.
So I feel like lots of things change as the relationship progresses as well. I think everyone can agree, especially if you enjoy sex, that at the beginning of a relationship, sex is always hot. Sex is always easy. You're always just craving sex because you're just craving each other. You don't have to do anything. You look at each other, you're like, let's fuck. Like, I feel like that's natural at the beginning of lots of relationships. And I think as a relationship continues moving forward, that dynamic changes a little bit, whether for one person or both people. Usually for one person, it changes. So you have to find where that is again, because things aren't the same as it was back in the beginning. So in a way, really, you have to go back to square one, right? Like, go back to actually being romantic again.
Yeah.
Come on, you have to have done that at some point in your relationship, right? And if your argument is, well, that wasn't the past. Like in the past, I would just like get naked and she'd jump right on top of me or whatever. But like, again, things change.
Yeah.
You have to be able to adapt with that, and it's your needs as well. But like, say you're the type of person just horny as fuck and you want to have sex right away. Okay, great. If your partner is not like that, then it is your job to get her there, right? And then once she's there, what happens next? Oh, you're fucking? That's what you wanted to begin with, right? That's what you wanted right from the start. So it might take a little bit work, or in your mind, right? More work. Oh, I have to I have to take it slow with her. I have to kiss her and stuff. But I'd say I honestly think every relationship goes through this. And you just have to work with each other to bring it back, bring that fire back. I would say we've gone through this plenty of times in different ranging degrees as well.
Yeah.
And there were definitely moments where I felt like, oh man, I have to like make out with her right now, and I just want to fuck. But when you really start thinking about your partner and caring for them, and maybe this is just a me thing because I like pleasing people so much. I like pleasing Amanda a lot. I get turned on by pleasing her. Taking steps back and slowing things down again really started to turn me on. So, but like that could just be a me thing. I don't know, but
yeah, it's hard when you are in a long-term committed relationship when, you know, you're not just popping over and like dating each other and seeing each other in brief moments where it's really exciting and your whole attention's on each other. When life happens and life gets in the way, yeah, you like that initial like jump each other's bones does go away. You just become normalized to each other, and you just need to be able to work on that. You need to be able to understand that and put some effort in. And if you don't have time to put the effort into having sex, don't bother having sex. Don't. Personally, that's how I feel. If you're like, oh, I got 5 quick minutes before I gotta get ready for work or something like that, if that's not your partner's style, I probably wouldn't bother, to be honest with you. That's when the conversation about self-pleasure needs to come in, because yeah, if somebody told me like, hey, I got 5 minutes, I just want to fuck, I'll pass. I'm good. So
yeah, I think this is one of those moments we were just talking about before that, you know, when you say things out loud, it just kind of maybe helps you a little bit more, but you basically know the answer. Yeah. And you're obviously willing to learn, because you're asking us for actual sex classes or whatever the case is. So I clearly you're wanting to work on this and help you and your partner, but you clearly stated the things that you needed to improve on. Yeah. You said, I fumble with openly stating that I want sex, in all caps, by the way. And then in parentheses, it's not romantic, it's not seductive, it's not passionate.
You know.
You know what to do, man. Well, make it romantic, right? Make it passionate. Yeah. That's what I'm assuming that's probably what your partner wants. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Exactly that. Also, like I appreciate that you think that we would know some like recommendable sites, but I feel like just like asking us instead of like actually doing your own research is just like lengthening the amount of time it's going to take for you to actually improve. Not that I'm mad that you asked us at all, but I hope that we're not the only ones you asked and that you're like waiting for our reply. I would hope that you're like actually searching for the help that you're asking for, because I know a lot of people do ask for help, but they don't really want the help, if that makes sense. I hope that you actually want the help. So
and unfortunately, like I think the only way to really, because like obviously we don't know any sources. Yeah. I mean, there's probably stuff online, but
there's so many.
I think the only way to really learn and go through is through experiences. So if you and your partner is this the same couple that got really good with communicating? I think so. Yeah. Other than sex, right? Well, if your communication is great, okay, well, I'll start having that hard conversation about what your guys' sex wants, what you guys want your sex to look like then. Yeah. If your communication is great, because you're only going to know through experience and specifically your partner's needs by asking them. Mm-hmm. No book is going to help you that. Everyone's different, right? So yeah, that's all.
Mm-hmm. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. I mean, set with all of them, but yes, good luck. Yeah. Okay, I think this might be the last one. This is the one I just got on like TikTok, which I was telling you about.
So we're not doing any of the emails today?
I think this is plenty. Okay. Yeah, we'll continue the rest of the stuff for the next episodes, guys. Okay. I was in an on and off relationship for about 3 years, but over the last 2 years, we've become serious. Before the commitment, I found out him and my sister had kissed. I forgave it, thinking it was a small mistake. She was young and apologized for doing it, and we worked past it. Or so I thought. So fast forward to now, we have a 6-month baby and doing pretty good. Well, it comes out that she got on top of him, and they almost had sex, but didn't. Then oral came up, and supposedly it didn't happen, but she saw his dick. It's been 2 or 3 years since then, but now I'm confused to what I should do. We built a beautiful life with the understanding it was a small blip, but now it's a massive issue. My family is telling me I need to pick my immediate family in the household or them. What should I do?
Pick your immediate family or them?
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't understand that.
I think that's just separate. I feel like her family knows of the situation and thinks poorly of him, and she's just like, you need to stop. You need to not be with him. You should be with us instead. I think that's what she's kind of wording.
And so, sorry, the blip with the sister happened when she was with her partner?
On and off relationship for about 3 years.
And now they have a baby.
Now they have a baby, 6-month baby.
I'm going to tell you right now, I personally would keep him away from your sister. I would stay with your man and live a happy, healthy life with him and your baby and keep him the fuck away from your sister.
Why are they together? Are you like hanging out with your family that much? Like, why are they together so often? Why are they together even by themselves?
Who knows what the situation is? But regardless, obviously he and your sister were attracted to each other. Something there happened. Could potentially happen again. Not going to lie to you.
I think that the fact that the story is so misconstrued, right? Well, it comes out that she got on top of him and they almost had sex, but then they didn't.
Yeah.
But then oral came up and supposedly it didn't happen, but she saw his dick. The story isn't clear.
We still don't know the truth. And to be honest, you probably don't know the truth.
Yeah.
Who knows? I would assume that something more than that happened, that they're just kind of covering their tracks. Regardless, you guys were in an on and off, whatever, situationship. You weren't actually dating. So like technically, was something wrong done? Not really, except that your sister knew that that was your man and your man knew that that was your sister. So both of them equally are at fault here. Do I necessarily blame either of them? Not really. Maybe a little bit. Depends on the situation.
Yeah, it's been 2 to 3 years since then. Which is a long enough time.
Yeah, and has anything happened since then?
Exactly. Has he done anything?
Do you love your partner? Has he been great? Is he a great father? You know, at the end of the day, when you become an adult, I personally feel like the family that you are building now comes before the family that you came from. You now have a partner and you have a baby. That is your immediate family. So your quote unquote immediate family that you talked about here, saying to choose your immediate family, what that really means is you need to choose the family that you just made, your child. That's how I think.
I agree. Unless he has shown signs of continuing to do this.
Exactly.
Then you know it's not the right.
Exactly.
You know the situation isn't right if he's doing that. But if you can genuinely find a place in your mind and your heart where he is a changed man and you feel like he's genuinely caring for you and your family, I think you have to let your feelings go. But I get that's hard. It's difficult.
Definitely.
It's a very bad, insecure feeling. But if he hasn't done anything wrong since then, 2-3 years, and he's done nothing but showing you love, I think for me, it sounds good. Yeah. It's a better situation.
And honestly, at that point, I would even tell yourself that more happened and just as a whole, get over that. Because if something comes up in a year and you find out more information, don't let that turmoil you all over again. You know what I mean? Also, look at it this way. If you were to picture who's worse at fault here, the sister or the guy that was kind of in a situationship? Your fucking sister. Sorry, sister, you fucking cunt. What are you doing?
Yeah, it said she was young or whatever, but I don't know the age range.
I don't give a fuck. That's your sister. Come on, dude. Like, the guy, yeah, for sure. That's also shitty. But your sister? Fuck no. She should have been having your back. So I definitely think that just keep those two away from each other unless it's like a family event and you're there and they're not together alone at any point. You know what I mean? I just wouldn't allow that to be like a regular occurrence. But I would focus on you and the family that you're building right now.
The part that's kind of interesting too is at the end where you're saying, my family is telling me I need to pick my immediate family in the household or them. What should I do? Wait, them implying your partner and your sister?
Yeah, I don't understand that part.
I'm not understanding that part. Like so that means your family knows that your sister did this and they want. It's all a bit confusing.
It is confusing.
But
regardless.
Yeah.
I stand true to what I just said.
Yeah, if you can feel his love, and he's not fucking it around anymore.
Yep. Focus on being a mom and a loving partner as long as he is
doing the same.
Yep. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, so what I was telling you before we started this episode about everything, I was like, man, just reading some of this stuff is just it's brutal to hear some of the people's real life relationships. Heavy. Yeah, lots of people are going through heavy shit as well. And it just goes to show you that everyone can be going through shit.
Totally.
You know?
Everyone is going through shit, always.
Yeah, I was telling this to our friend. I'm like, man, does depression and aging just coincide with each other? When you get older, do you just get more depressed? Because like It could be. I think so. Like you experience more of life, you start understanding life more. Life gets a little bit harder as soon as you become an adult and you have responsibilities. And the difference with our generation versus our parents' generation, for example, though, is our parents' generation's lives were more simple, right? You go to the trades, get a job, get a degree, get that pension, and suck it up. Don't talk about shit. And if you actually live your mind in that world, you could be relatively happy. In my opinion,
right?
You can forget about all the stuff that really stresses you out, and you can live a simple, happy life. But life is more complicated than those people actually make it seem to be, and we're living in that uncomplicated life now. And sometimes I just feel like, the older you get, the more depressed you can potentially get. I don't know.
It's just a level of awareness.
Yeah.
That's why I said, like, before I was with you, I was so just unaware, but I was so fucking like blissfully happy just in my bubble of unawareness, bubble of not giving a fuck about anyone else, not making connections, like just living my life as myself for like short-term happiness in the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, was it fulfilling? No. And so now I'm like more aware, living a more fulfilling life, but that comes with a whole bunch of fucking stress and like reality check.
But it's more rewarding if you
Yes.
can actually live it. So my question for you is this. Because I overheard you talking about that specifically with our friend, right? When did that click for you? Because I think the hardest part, if you are living in that kind of life, right, where you're just focusing on yourself, not worrying about two things, et cetera, like things you're listing off, it's hard to even see the other side, right? So when did it click for you? Be like, holy shit, I can actually get way more fulfillment out of life if I focus on these things. Because again, you're blinded to it if you're so deep into your lifestyle of me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You know, I kind of think it was like 2021, to be honest. I think it was.
So that's when we started porn?
Well, I think I started porn in 2020.
End of 2020.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I had done at least a couple months of just doing OnlyFans by myself. And it was when I started when I started working a little bit less, like when I let go of my hustle quite as much, and then was just like at home more, having more time to think. I wasn't doing the 9 to 5.
Yep.
I wasn't even doing a 9 to 5. I wasn't fucking closing a bar every night at 4 a.m. and then, going to bed. I wasn't so busy with everything in life, and I started to actually slow down and just think more. That's when I definitely started to like hit me more. Yeah.
Yeah, because you could say for a person that doesn't go very deep or value connections with people, your argument would be like, well, what's the point of it? Because you don't do it. You can't even see the point of it because you don't do it, right?
Yeah.
So like I was asking, when was that tipping point for you where you're like, wow, this is actually important and I'm actually getting fulfillment by connecting with people? I think that's the hardest one for people that don't do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
started happening.
There was that clear time frame when I just was like comparing myself to you a lot and like saying how I kept saying intellectually dumb, but like emotionally dumb and like lacking I was. And then like how much I heard you saying that you kind of like weren't getting that from me. And so you were having those deeper conversations with other people and other friends. And I was kind of like, well, why isn't he having them with me? Why can't I have them? And then I kind of started to clue in, like, obviously it's a me problem. Because if you have those conversations with other people, that means that they're all capable of having those conversations.
And how'd that make you feel at first, at least?
Shitty.
Yeah.
Shitty. Like, I was lacking. Like, I'm lesser of a human. And that's why I kept saying, like, I just feel like I'm not there. I knew I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So.
How are you feeling now?
Like, a lot better. I'm still not all the way.
No,
but
I'm
at a level that I'm comfortable with.
Exactly.
I still sometimes don't fucking want to deal with people, and that's cool.
That's fine.
But I do feel like I've built more friends over the last like 2 years than I ever have. Yeah, and I mean, I let go of. I've stopped talking to the people that were my long-term friends, that were the easy friends that you didn't have to have those conversations with because you just knew each other so well. I don't have those anymore, so I had to rebuild my friends. And yeah, when I started being by myself a lot more and having time, it was like, oh shit, yeah, I want those things. So
that's really nice to hear. Obviously, I mean, not obviously. That's really nice to hear, honestly, because backtrack to many episodes ago, you were just talking about you could care less about having friends, and to degrees you might still do, but now you're building such great connections. I bet it just fills your heart in a really nice place. Like Jessie Switch, for example. Yeah. I feel like you two are really connecting a lot, even through the online world. She's like disclosing so much information to you, and
I know we really just pour our hearts out.
You're trusting each other to able to go that deep and talk so openly and hold the space for each other.
Yeah,
that's what's nice about it, and it's cool for you to feel that and see that. Because for a while there, I just didn't know if you wanted that even, or could even see that was the possibility. What got me, the shocker for me, was when you told me that talking about emotions was woo-hooey for you.
Oh yeah.
That's when I realized, holy fuck. So all the actual woohoo stuff that I talk about
is like super.
It is like just majorly witchcraft for you. Yeah. Like the fact that emotions alone was woohoo in your mind, that made more sense in my head then of why you acted the way you did.
I don't think I've told you this. I need to figure out my words before I say this. Oh, okay. I'm learning something new about myself recently that has always been present, and I can acknowledge that it's not very healthy.
Okay.
But I don't know that I can change it.
Okay.
And I also don't know if I want to change it. Okay, so.
Well, before you even tell me, acknowledgement is the first step.
Yeah.
That's so important.
So I have to just give examples. At my gym, at our gym, in the change room, there's like one big giant mirror. It's like the mirror that everyone looks at. It's like the one that you see when you walk in. It's a full body mirror. I walked in the other morning and it was covered in sticky notes. And I had a big message on the board saying like, you are beautiful, you are loved, like females empower females, write your fellow females like encouraging words. And so all the sticky notes just had like words of encouragement, nice things. I should have looked at that and been like, that's so sweet. Man, I looked at it instantly. I fucking rolled my eyes. It was just like, lame. That's stupid. Like those were my initial thoughts. And then it hit me like, oh, clearly this isn't meant to be like a shitty thing. Clearly this is supposed to help people, right? And a lot of people are writing on it. So obviously it's making people feel good.
Yep.
But for whatever the reason, to me, I just can't help but be like, oh, fuck, that's so dumb. Like, that's so stupid. Really, that's how I feel towards it.
Anything else?
I feel like there's other things that I wanted to add, like another example, but I can't really think of it right now. Yeah, I don't know.
There's that word that we were reading in that book that we were trying to read together at the time. But the trait that you have.
Oh.
Well, I can't remember what the exact word is.
Hold on.
We need this word. I think the word is very important.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Rebel psychological reactance. It's your brain's reaction when you feel a threat to your freedom or think your choices are being limited. This response can make you feel annoyed, panicked, or angry when rules or guidelines are put in place. That's more like when people are telling me what I have to do.
Yeah, I don't think that's the word I'm talking about. The word that I'm talking about, the definition was something like, if everyone else is into something, you're purposely like something defiance. Oh,
you're right.
You purposefully hate it just because everyone else is into it. I think that has a little bit to do with it. For example, the notes on the wall thing, right? Especially for your character trait, you couldn't give a fuck about that. You deep down have a lot of willpower, right? You can actually do a lot of action just from yourself alone. And you've always lived independently, so you don't feel the need to like have to be lifted up by other people. So that's why I think when you look at the wall and you see all the sticky notes and you see all those words of encouragement, I think those are the two factors. One, look at all these people doing this, like fuck this bullshit. But also two is like, I don't need to do this. I got my own willpower. I don't need help from these words on the wall. So I think those two things is what makes you feel that way. But I think you're acknowledging it, which is very cool to hear. I can understand where you're coming from. For me, that doesn't help me either, right? Seeing that shit does nothing to me, right? Being involved does nothing to me. The only thing that really goes on my mind is that, oh, it's helping other people. Great.
Yeah, like it's not like I wanted to go rip them all off the wall.
No.
I just was like, this is silly.
Exactly. But then you're just making yourself feel that way off of no reason, technically, right?
Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is like I'm realizing that my internal monologue? Initial thoughts and monologue is actually pretty negative towards a lot of things that are supposed to be considered positive.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm super judgmental.
That's what I was going to say.
I'm realizing that.
That's what I was going to say is that someone said it in their comments very well, how I've always expressed how I think things are. They basically said, everything's a mirror, right, guys? Like, however you act out into the world is genuinely speaking the way you view the world, right? If you were a judgmental person, I'm pretty sure you're feared of being judged a lot as well. And like my one friend, it's so funny. He talked about his moment where he stopped judging people. And it's funny to even think about that as a topic. When did you stop judging people? Right. Because I clearly remember a time for me where I genuinely stopped, and it's not an easy thing to do. I think we're born and raised to judge people. Like it's hard. Everything is a comparison. Everything is judgmental. I think it really takes a long time to train yourself to stop being judgmental. Like growing up, for example, I'm kind of a car guy, not really a car guy, but like, you know, I grew up with like old school BMWs. I would hate people that had riced out Honda Civics. Why? Because it's a ricer. It's a Honda Civic. But then you grow up and you end up realizing, man, if they like a Honda Civic the same way you like your BMW E30, everyone likes different things. Why are we judging other people for silly things? I realized I was making myself feel more like shit than anything else. And then that moment clicked for me where I just slowly stopped judging people. And then Jason told me his moment of not judging people, and it was the weirdest moment ever. I'm like, wow, super bizarre that's what made you happen that way. So I think people can get to that point of not judging people as soon as they start learning, going through other experiences, but who knows when that will be. I think being mindful for it is very important, but it's very interesting to hear that for sure.
I think the only time that I actually don't have negative monologue towards people is at like Shambhala, like at festivals.
But given because
the only time that I look at everyone and I think nice thoughts.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the point where deep in regular society, there's just so much judgment. So you're living in a world where you're fearful of judgment. So what do? You just judge back. But at Shambhala, where literally everyone's free, everyone's open, everyone's nice, it's like, it's weird to judge people there. Yeah. You just don't do it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Cool for bringing it up. That's crazy.
Anyway, guys. Yeah.
It's not easy to bring stuff up like that. A while ago, you mentioned something about like, you don't want to seem cringed, or you don't want to feel cringe. Oh, that would really make me feel cringe. And that stuck to me because like, I can't tell you the last time I even felt like what cringe feels like.
Oh God, I feel it all the time.
Especially if it's other people just doing stuff. Like I don't even know what that feeling feels like anymore. And what is that? Maybe that's just because I don't judge anymore. Because I don't judge people. There's nothing to even be cringed about. Like you can do what you want to do. You can be who you want to be. If you're not fearful of judgment, then there shouldn't be any cringe feeling. But I thought that was really interesting that you said that, because, or like you told me the other day how you have some things that in your head that you want to say to me, but you're afraid that it would sound cringy or it would sound whatever. This is like months ago.
I don't remember. Okay.
Yeah. I thought it was really interesting because I thought the reason why I've been thinking about that lately, because I felt that way kind of last week when I was in my depression. You know, I'm kind of sad. I'm kind of muttering around, but something would happen and like, that'll be a perfect time for a joke. But like, will it deliver because I'm kind of sad right now? Will I say it in a low voice? Will she even appreciate that? So I decided not to say it. Like, for example, when we walked outside the gym, like, that's a Ford Bronco. Like, I was feeling better that time, so I said it. But if I was a little bit more depressed, I probably wouldn't have said that. But the reason why I thought about that, because you told me that a while ago, that you don't want to say things in front of me because you're afraid of it's being cringe. I'm like, yeah, but we're partners in this. You should be able to say whatever you want.
I feel like I was saying that in regards to some of my negative thoughts, though.
Fair, okay, fair.
There are some things that, like, in my mind is funny.
Yeah.
But it's directed negatively at someone or something.
Okay.
And so because I know that you don't really appreciate those things, and also because I'm becoming more aware that like that's actually not funny, it's just for some stupid reason funny to me.
Yeah.
I'm keeping myself from saying them out loud because it is, now I'm cluing in, it is kind of cringe.
Interesting. But cringe for you to say, not for you to feel.
Well, no, I'm realizing it's cringy that I even like want to. It's even cringy that I want to vocalize that out loud.
Yeah.
You know,
okay, I get it.
Because I'm noticing that with some of our friends that are the same way, and sometimes they'll say things, and I'll be like, "Oh,
yeah,
don't like that."
Yeah.
Like, why are you so judgy about things that I'm not judgy about? But then here I am in my brain being super judgy and like wanting to like crack a joke at somebody that I think is fucking looking like a dumbass, but like, why? Because I think they look like a dumbass? It's just, I don't know. We're cracking these things down.
It's cool though.
But also, like, I've made fun of people that drive Fords my whole life.
I know.
Why?
I know.
Again, I don't even know why.
Because people told you. It's just people
somebody
told you,
once upon a time.
That's exactly it.
I grew up in a family that all fucking bashed Fords, and I don't even fucking talk to my family anymore.
That's exactly it.
But here I am. Oh, fuck Fords.
Yep. That's exactly it. That's how systemic racism still exists.
I see a guy in a big lifted Chevy. Cool. I see a guy in a big lifted Ford. Fucking loser. That's what goes through my brain instantly.
It's hard to trust me. I know it. I literally thought about that every fucking riced out, slammed, fart canned Honda Civic in the world growing up, right?
Fuck. Yeah. Anyway, sorry if you drive a lifted Ford. I'm trying to get over it. I have a friend that drives a lifted Ford. Please don't hate me.
Yeah. Good for you. That's awesome. Cool. That was really good, guys. I just want to say, usually when we do our podcast, we have a whiteboard up and we write down a list of things or topics we want to discuss. You know, it feels like it helps us stay on track and things. Yeah. But that whole conversation was not written on the board. And I have to say, we haven't had a moment like that on the podcast in a while. If you want to say we were off script, but there's never really a script here.
Never a script, just ideas.
Yeah. But that was really nice because that means we're just really fucking shooting the shit. And it's been a while since I really felt that, which is really cool.
True.
Yeah.
True. See, this is why I'd like to be seeing my therapist now, to like deal with these weird little things, not my fucking end of life traumatic shit.
I know.
God damn it.
There? Wow, that was huge for you. I'm not gonna lie.
It's been a thing that's been going on in my brain for a little while now.
Well, and like I said before, the podcast kind of like I told you a while ago how sometimes the podcast just makes you talk about things for the first time, even to you. Yeah. Because I told some of my friends, most of the time I'm looking straight forward at this light here. I'm not really looking at you half the time because I want my neck to be neutral because my neck does get cranked if I'm constantly looking and talking like this. But also because we're not looking at each other.
It's so much easier.
It's so much easier just to kind of talk sometimes. Yeah. So that, for example, that was the first time I ever heard her say something like that. And to have it being on the podcast and recorded, talking about a bad trait of yours that you want to work on, like that's huge. So that's awesome.
See, and because you just said that,
I know I'm trying not to say I'm proud of you anymore because you told me when I say I'm proud of you,
that's cringe.
Like, how is that cringe, man? I'm full on proud of you, but I purposely didn't say that because I know how you felt about the words.
I'm so fucked up.
Jesus.
The only time I like being praised, I swear to God, is like when you call me a good girl or something. Otherwise, I'm just like, ooh.
So funny, man. Again, emotions are woohoo, so you can't get praised for doing a good job on that.
I'm crying because I'm laughing.
Anyways, guys, that's it.
Thanks for hanging out.
Yes.
And to those of you that also wrote in, like we have a lot more. We have a lot more advice to answer, so we'll just keep adding that. Sorry if we didn't get to yours this time.
Yeah, but we'll do it at the end for sure. And I think we actually like doing that. So breaking the podcast episode like that down to a section where we can do that for you guys is really fun. So
yeah, whether it's like advice or the Q&As or whatever it is, it's nice. Mm-hmm. I like it. And if you have game ideas or whatever ideas, even just for the two of us or with a guest, whatever, let us know. Mm-hmm. I think that's it.
If you're watching on YouTube, holy crap, Hoodie's been basically the whole stinking time.
She's so cute.
If you're not watching on YouTube, at least tune in for this part. Come on.
Yeah.
She's looking bigger. She's getting there, guys.
She's turning into a lady.
Yeah. And just want to say it because it feels like a good milestone. This is episode 30.
Is it?
This is episode 30.
Aw.
30 episodes deep, which doesn't actually seem like many episodes when you listen to other podcasts, like 250
they're hours and hours long.
Yeah, but they're also like weekly or whatever. They're more regular. We're bi-weekly but
I'm saying most people do like 1 hour.
I know.
Some of our episodes are 3 fucking hours. So yeah, could we have broken them down into 1 hour and done significantly more episodes? Absolutely.
Bi-weekly works. But 30 episodes, guys. Thank you for listening. We get lots of emails of like people claiming that they're like professional podcast people, and they'd be like, oh yeah, I love your guys' podcast, but I see that you guys are really low on the charts. Like I could work with you guys and help you guys bring you up like I did with this podcast and blah 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 blah. I'm just like, you know what, if the podcast was the only thing we were doing and we were relying on this for our income, maybe I'd take you up on that offer. But honestly, like we said in the last episode, we do this for fun. Yeah. It doesn't matter about it. I mean, yeah, the numbers would be good because they definitely correlate to people coming to our OnlyFans. But the podcast is just a little baby. That's it. It's our baby. It's our baby that we're growing, and you know, we're letting it do whatever it wants to do. I'm not forcing it to do any sports that it doesn't want to do. You know, like I'm just letting it do its thing.
Or people that have emailed like 10 times trying to be on the podcast, and we're just like, you just don't align.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Why? Anyway, no. And because you asked 10 times and because I'm me, definitely no. Like, if you're that pushy, we're just not gonna vibe.
Yeah.
So yeah, we like what we do.
Mm-hmm. But thanks, you guys. Thanks. 30 episodes deep. You guys are still listening. We're slowly growing up on all the platforms. 5,000 subscribers on YouTube.
That's nice.
Yeah.
10 will be cool.
Let's get us 10, guys. share with everyone, please. If you're watching YouTube, please give us a like, comment anything. I'll reply, and please subscribe.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for listening. We always appreciate it.
We're family standards.
And sex happens here.
Peace out. We traded roles. So cute.